Yo, what is up guys? Delboy here. So it's time to put respect on this man's name. Kazuto Ioka defeats Aston Palicte in 10 rounds to become a 4-weight world champion. First and foremost, credit to both fighters. I really enjoyed this fight. Both guys came to fight, both guys gave it their all, and it made for a really good fight. This was an intriguing style clash. It was a nice contrast of styles. You had the more compact pressure fighter in Kazuto Ioka, and you had the tall, rangy but powerful Aston Palicte, and the styles gelled really well and it made for a great fight. And yeah, first and foremost, if you've not seen this fight, find a copy and watch it. It was really great boxing, and like I said, I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, but I really enjoyed it. Early on, I actually felt Palicte asserted himself well with his long jab. He was popping it out on a regular occurrence and it was landing on Ioka. It was a nice jab, it was a powerful jab. Ioka was also jabbing to the body. He was mixing in that left hook to the body as well. Palicte put some good shots together in round one. There was also a snappy right uppercut that landed. And yeah, in the first round, Palicte was looking good, he was looking fluid, and he was letting his hands go. Ioka had some success, he got a few flurries in up close, but for me round one belonged to Palicte. I think in round one, Ioka was almost trying to figure out what was in front of him. He was trying to get used to the range. He was in there with a taller, longer guy. And yeah, round one, I think Ioka was trying to figure out what was in front of him really. Round two, in my opinion, was a lot more closer. To me, Palicte though was still a step ahead. He was popping that consistent jab, trying to keep it on the outside, whereas Ioka, he was trying to get past that jab and work up close. Ioka in round two was a lot more busy than he was in round one, and you could argue he won round two, but I preferred the work of Palicte, I can't lie. Round three, I actually gave to Ioka. Palicte again, using that long 1-2, jabbing into the body, and he was, trying to keep Ioka on the outside. But I felt Ioka had a lot more success when he tried to bum rush Palicte. When he was up close and on the inside, Ioka was landing some good flurries, and I felt he outworked Palicte in round three. Round four, I felt the action really started to heat up. Palicte again was doing what he was always trying to do, trying to fight off that jab and work based off that. But in round four, I felt Ioka was, he was trying to go through the gears. He was displaying a lot better head movement in round four, and he was moving his feet a lot more. He was stepping around Palicte. He was landing counter hooks as well. Round four, I felt Ioka really upped the pace. He was doubling and tripling up his jab, and I felt Ioka was very effective in round four, and I scored him the round. In round four, I also noticed when Ioka was stepping in with his jab, he rocked Palicte a couple of times. He made him take a step back, and that was a good punch for him also. Palicte in round four had success. He landed some nice right hand counters, including that uppercut. But for me in round four, I felt Ioka had for more success, and I felt he won that round. But I've got to say, as this fight's going on, we are seeing a great tactical battle between two really good boxers. Round five, I felt Ioka again was in charge. Palicte was trying to find that big right hand from outside, but Ioka was doing a good job of avoiding it. Ioka in round five done some very good body work at mid-range and up close, and also he showed very good defense up close and at mid-range, slipping and countering and then working the body. Round five, I felt Ioka looked really good, and I felt he was starting to look a bit, not ragged, but in round five, Palicte was starting to look a bit frustrated, a little bit panicky almost. But for me, round five was a Ioka round. I felt round six was very close. Palicte, he tried to get back on his jab, and, he tried to keep it at range again. But again in round six, to me, all of the memorable work came from Ioka. He done some great work to the body of Palicte, and up close he looked extremely good. He was getting in his rhythm, and for me round six, despite it being competitive, I felt Ioka done more than enough to win round six. Round 7 though, I felt Palicte really came back into it. He had a really, really good round. He really upped the pace and he was a lot more aggressive in round 7. He was trying to make the most of his size, strength and power. Palicte in round 7 also did a good job of working the body of Ioka. And, you know, Palicte was starting to swarm Ioka in round 7. You know, Ioka I felt was really getting a foothold in the fight up until this point, but round 7 really flipped that on its head. Palicte in round 7 also landed a really good flush left hook. Ioka was getting worked over to the body throughout the round. Also Palicte, when he was up close, he was doing a good job of shortening up that right hand, and that found the target on quite a few occasions. And yeah, round 7 to me was a clear Palicte round. He really done well in round 7. Ioka started to come back into the round towards the end, but Palicte was the boss in round 7, and I felt the round was kind of so one-sided that it could change the course of the fight from that point onwards. But yeah, round 7, a clear Palicte round. Round 8, however, I felt Ioka kind of done a good job regrouping. Ioka actually moved a lot more in round 8, and I felt that kind of offset Palicte. It was a lower output round, and you know, Ioka was controlling the pace of the fight. Ioka was scoring some good jabs, some quick 1-2s. He would get inside now and again and land a few flurries and he would get out. Round 8 was a really tactically astute round for Ioka, and I felt he won the round. Round 8, given how good round 7 was for Palicte, was a really disappointing round. So round 8, I felt Ioka done a great job of rebounding. Round 9 again, to me, Ioka was the guy who was boxing the better fight. Ioka was doubling and tripling his jab once again. He was being fairly elusive actually, you know, getting to Palicte's body, he was getting out, and he was boxing very well. In round 9, you know, Palicte really threw a lot less punches than he was earlier in the fight, and what he did throw, he was missing. He did get close with a couple of right hands in round 9, but nothing really got through for Palicte. And Ioka in round 9 really regained control of this fight. And round 10 was where the fight ended. Palicte started the round by throwing his jab, but he was caught by a big check left hook by Ioka, and Palicte was badly hurt. Palicte was backed up and Ioka smashed him with several right hands, left hooks. Palicte was backing up, covering himself fairly poorly, and, you know, Ioka just was all over him, and the referee jumped in to stop it. For some reason, Palicte's corner was protesting the stoppage. I felt the stoppage was more than justified, to be quite honest. Palicte was taking a bit of a pasting. He really wasn't defending himself that well, and he was badly hurt. I think the stoppage was perfect, and Ioka becomes a 4-weight world champion. Like I said at the start of this video, it really is time to start putting respect on this man's name. He's achieved some great things in the sport. In fact, he achieved history by winning this new world title. He is the first Japanese boxer to become a 4-weight world champion. So that is something significant, and it's a really great achievement for Kazuto Ioka. And going forwards, there's some great fights to have at super flyweight. You could have Ioka versus Kalyafai. That would be a unification fight. That's a great fight. Ioka versus Jerwin Ancajas. That's another great fight. Ioka versus Roman Gonzalez. Ioka versus Rungvisai. Or Ioka versus Juan Francisco Estrada. That would also be a unification fight. So at super flyweight, there are some great fights out there to be made. Hopefully we get some of these fights made in the next few months, because the division right now is looking pretty good. I cannot lie, it's looking really, really good. Another fight I would like to see would be the rematch between Ioka and Donny Nietes, because I felt Ioka last time beat Nietes, and I really do stand by that. I felt he beat Nietes, so I would like to see that again. But yeah, plenty of fights out there for Ioka, and as for Palicte, he can come again. He proved against Nietes and Ioka he can operate at a certain level, and he can compete at a certain level. he's certainly a top 10, top 15 contender now. So he can come again also. But yeah, great fight, really enjoyed it. Share your thoughts below.